Most AI failures don't happen during implementation. They happen before the first meeting even starts, at the scoping stage. A partner says, "Can you automate X?" Someone suggests a tool and suddenly you're locked into a solution before you've even defined the problem. That's how budgets get burnt and that's how the credibility gets lost. So let's fix that. I'm Rok, founder of MPL Legal Tech Advisors. We consult legal teams through AI adoption before anyone builds or buys anything, so they don't get trapped in oversold software and irreversible mistakes. The firms that succeed with AI don't start by asking, what can we automate? They start by asking, how can we scope this correctly based on our reality and our goals? If you get the scoping right, everything downstream becomes reversible, low risk, and defensible. If you get it wrong, you'll overcommit too early, buy the wrong thing, or build something that nobody adopts. So here's the framework we use with every firm before a single tool is named. Let's jump straight into 3 decisions that must be clarified upfront. Step number 1 is deciding what is off limits. It's not choosing the tool, it's drawing a red line. Because before we talk what AI can do in your firm, we have to define what it must never touch. Because if this isn't explicit, every subsequent conversation turns into comfort debate instead of an actual progress. So ask 2 questions. 1, what is sacred legal judgment? Which means human only, no exceptions. These are the things that don't get assisted, that don't get drafted with AI, and absolutely don't get handed to a paralegal plus GPT. And 2, what is potentially assistable but ethically sensitive. And that shouldn't be automated, shouldn't be delegated. Should be augmented, with verification still in your hands. I see the firms skipping this step, then spending their time arguing about tools, but the firms that start with this boundary move 10 times faster. Because from that moment on, every decision has a clear gatekeeper, which is, does this task live on the assistable side or on the human side? If you can answer this cleanly, you're ready for step 2. If not, you're not scoping AI work yet. You're still deciding on your firm's identity. Real quick, if you're enjoying what you're seeing in this video, we offer 15-minute discovery sessions for legal teams that want to know if their processes and data are actually AI ready. Feel free to check the description and book a free one down below. Now back to the video. Most legal teams assume that AI starts by automating workflows. But the uncomfortable truth is that you cannot automate what doesn't structurally exist. So before you even think of intake bots or drafting automations, you have to answer one question first. Are your materials in a state that AI can actually work? Meaning, is your documentation searchable? Let's make it painfully clear. If your clauses, templates, and precedent knowledge are centralized, consistently formatted, and tagged with basic metadata, you're in a workflow-first position. This means that you can start layering AI on top of your existing system. But if your content is spread across multiple folders, versioned inconsistently, and, let's be real, sitting in people's heads, you're not ready to build workflows. You're in a foundation-first state. And here's why this distinction matters. If you try to automate before establishing the substrate, AI won't streamline your firm. It will just amplify the chaos. I've seen firms wire up AI intake automations where the tools fill the wrong fields half of the times, because the templates weren't standardized. I've seen firms deploy drafting copilots, only to spend more time fixing formatting errors than before. Foundation isn't a slow route. It's the multiplier and accelerator. Because once your knowledge base is structured, every clause appears where it should, every template can be auto-filled safely, and every workflow becomes repeatable, not just once, but forever. And automation becomes boring in the best possible way. So, do you actually need AI right now? Or do you first need an order? Only once you know that answer, you can pick your first move with confidence. Now, before you talk about tools or timelines, you need to settle something way more fundamental. Are you the kind of leader that wants clarity up front? Or do you want momentum up front? Because there's 2 very different approaches with AI. One is plan first mindset, where you want the full roadmap defined, risk mapped, costed, and sequenced before committing. And then there's another one, which is how startups operate. Probe first mindset. You'd rather run a few exploratory blocks, try a few things at the same time, let them prove value fast, and double down on whatever. Neither is better. Both can work, as long as you pick one consciously. The mistake that I see a lot of firms making is acting like they're plan first, but they actually behave like they're probe first. Or worse, they're drifting from one to another without choosing any path. Now, if you force structure before you understand the terrain, you will overbuild. And if you avoid structure for too long, you will stall. So before any AI work begins, answer one question. Do you tick best with certainty or with motion? And every decision after that gets much easier. If you take nothing else from this video, take this with you. Do not let anyone talk to you about tools without these 3 decisions being explicit. If a vendor starts with features, pause. If a consultant jumps to timelines, pause. And if an internal stakeholder says, let's try it and see, pause. Ask them, have we defined the boundary of responsibility? Are we in a workflow mode or in a foundation mode? And are we operating plan first or probe first? If they can't answer those 3 cleanly, you're not ready to implement. And that's the discipline that most legal teams skip. And that's also a reason why they end up rebuilding things twice. So, to scope AI work properly, don't start with use cases. Start with 3 decisions. Draw the red line of what stays human only and what can be system assisted. Identify your state. Workflow ready or foundation first? And choose your operating mode. Plan first or probe first? If you want your AI initiative framed correctly, that's exactly what we help with at MPL Legal Tech Advisors. Before you talk to vendors, think about pilots, or waste any money, book a call with us. You'll find the link below to a strategic session to make sure you don't commit to the wrong thing too early. And make sure you use this framework before you let anyone pitch you another legal AI solution. Thanks for watching and follow along for more no BS content. See you in the next one.